This is Chris O'Mara with American Public University. It's September 30th, 2018. I'm in class SPHS 502 with Dr. Elrod. This is the final project. It's the 8 to 12 minute long video. I'm going to be focusing on squat and the different techniques for squat. There's many different options for squat. I'm just going to look at the original normal squat. First, you're going to look at the muscles used. Generally speaking, there's other muscles that are used within the squat. Particularly the ones noticed that are used in this movement are the thighs, the hip, the buttocks, the quadriceps, the hamstring, the core. When it comes to females have different muscles too that are worked. I'm just essentially looking at a male aspect right now, though, and those are the ones that are normally noticed. One of the things that often people are confused with, I'm going to try to get the best view here that I can. It is the stance, and if you noticed. Unfortunately, it's a little bit out of the view. My shoulder's right here. If there's a straight line down my body, that's where my heel's at. And then you want to cant out roughly 30 degrees, keeping your knee in a somewhat squared off position. And you want that for both your feet too. You want them also level on this plane too, side to side. You don't want to be twisted while you're squatting, pushing more pressure on one hip or knee more than the other. And then you essentially come down like this, and you try to get your hamstrings level to the ground surface. The posture is very essential in this workout, and you will notice it with the different squats that they have. Like I said, we're only focusing on this one, the original squat, just to get that basis. So muscle activation groups that we're going to go into in the squat, they vary on the depth and the foot placement and the weight on the load of the bar. So your muscles are going to activate a lot more the more weight that's on the bar. If your feet are, say this is normal, if this was normal, the body would engage correctly by a scientific standard. However, if you accidentally cant one foot out a little bit more, your activation on your hips and your knees are going to be much different. Or even if you go on a wider stance, like I mentioned, there are different entities within the squat, but within the lowering phase of a normal squat in a predictable environment with your feet 30 degrees, completely squared off, on the lowering phase, which is so, this would be lowering, down, 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 that's lowering. So as you lower, your hip flexions are going to activate first, hips right here, and then as you get about, so you could feel right there, I feel hips activating right there, and I'm barely down at all. As I'm coming down right here, I feel my knees activating, the knee flexions activating, and then as I get down all the way, I can feel my whole body activating at that point, but what is activating is the ankles. So at that point, all three of those are activated. You also don't want to, as you just saw me do, I lean forward. I'm also trying to read off the paper. Don't try to lean forward on that. So you try to keep your back as straight as you can. There will be some hinged movement. That's just how the body works, and there's not a lot that you're going to be able to do about that. Especially if you put weight on the bar on your back, it's going to drive you forward, and there's just nothing you're going to do about it. So like your bar, back, 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 legs are parallel, up, up, up. So on that up motion, as I was saying, up, you're First thing to activate is hip extensions. So all the way down, you feel hip extensions coming up. Yep, you feel them. You got your knee extensions as you're coming up. You feel, it almost feels like a pressure on the knees. It's not really, I wouldn't say a muscle on the knees that you can feel per se, not like a bicep muscle or something like that. But it definitely feel the engagement of it. And then you have your ankle extensions all the way up as you get up. So the movement and all with a bar on it. This is a 45-pound electric bar. It's 7 feet long, so this is really not a load for me. I do lift a lot heavier than this, but so foot placement is always my first thing, because this is actually set up for my voice, so it's way too low for me. So you come out, and your shoulders and your chest are activated to a degree, and you're pulling your shoulders back. Your body naturally doesn't hold back like this, but it drives the chest out and it forces you to straighten the back up. The further you go out, the more awkward it is to hold the weight correctly. Right here though, it could feel uncomfortable with the laterals, the delts and stuff like that. It depends on how big you are up in that area. You just got to stretch those out, and it helps you drive and stay. So here again, I'm going to do it an upper view and then a lower view, because the camera is not getting everything on this. So you make sure your feet are right. I actually have markings on my floor for this. It seems to help me, because there's times that you walk out of the rack and you can't always just go straight down. If I had a Smith machine, perhaps I could go straight down and be able to drive, and then the bar itself would keep me. But I'm doing like a free weight on this, so as you can see, the bar can move back and forth. I'm the only thing holding the bar. So drive down, and this is where you're going to activate your hip, your knee, and then your ankle. So hip, knee, ankle. So see, there's that hinge. I'm leaning forward a little bit. There's nothing I can do about it. Coming up, you can activate the hip, knee, and ankle again. And you'll feel it. You'll feel it in your quads. You'll feel it in your hamstrings. This is your quad right here, hamstrings. It's going to activate your calf muscles a little bit too. It's not really a calf per se workout. It's all movement joints. So you don't want all these joints moving at once. You don't want to look like a sloppy mess, if you will, and you just kind of fall to the ground. That's not that. So you release the hips, and you're dropping it, and you really feel the knees. The ankles, you're not rocking. You definitely don't want to rock ever, as far as that goes. But the activations, your body will activate it right. There's no, this is a natural movement. Anyone can do this, and this is something you might have done picking up a thing of paint, or picking up a bag of rocks or the dog food or something like this. You don't necessarily have to do it in a gym environment. So again, I want to show that lower kind of extremity in the squat. I don't know if you can't see the markings on the floor. I do have them marked though. It's in black marker on a black tile, so that'd be why you cannot see that. Again, make sure the bar is balanced. Pull that chest back, and you're gonna want this right here level to the ground. So if you notice, it might be a little bit hard to see through my shorts that you do that, but actually let's turn right like this here. So right like this. I can't go as low when the bar is loaded, because fear of not getting back up. So that's where you want to be at. And then up. Up is explosive. Down is not. Slow down. Up, explosive. Make sure as you're going down, you're breathing in. Air into that bloodstream is very important. As you're going up though, You're blowing that air out. You're pushing with everything you got. And that concludes the squat. I hope you were able to learn a little bit about this at least, and that's it.